Sir Marmalade, welcome to Babylon.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
How are you getting on?
Good. Yeah.
So how did you guys meet up?
Long story. So me and Glebsy met a good while ago, over 5 years now, I'd say. One of the few musicians I've ever met on stage and continued being on stage with.
You met him on a stage?
We met him on stage.
Yes, that's actually unbelievable. We met on stage, and it's kind of, just coincidence. That we just literally came to the
I had a
jam.
habit of going to like jam sessions, you know what I mean? So I just get my guitar, run into town, see what happens. Most of the times, nothing would happen. Nothing interesting anyway. But this is one of the times, it was up in where is it? Drop Dead Twice, it's called now.
Yeah, that's correct one.
Who knows what name it was. But yeah, no, it's just kind of a weird, I felt compelled just to go in and with my guitar alone, which I usually would bring a friend or two, I don't know. But found myself on stage with Glebsy and our friend Jackie, who plays drums. And it just seemed to click on stage immediately and was evident to pretty much everyone in the room, I think.
Yeah.
But we came off stage just feeling great. And Jackie basically jumped on me and with his dreadlocks. Yeah, it's just unique characters, you know what I mean? And we just hit it off. And from then on, we just knew we had to make a band and all that. So... And we just kind of kept that ethic of just jamming and having fun, that kind of way. So
so we formed the band before Sir Marmalade came. And there was a quantum crossroads, and literally right. We just started jam, improvise, and we just decided why not to just playing gigs, just. Improvising, actually funny. We just improvised, and we started writing songs.
We would make them think it wasn't improvised, so we'd go up and make it look like we meant to do that. If you get me,
yeah,
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So when you say you met on the stage, who was on the stage first, or were you just thrown together
completely
to
random
perform covers?
No. This is like a jam session where you bring an instrument, that kind of thing, and you get up and you're matched with whoever it is, and see what happens. As in, is there a drummer? Drummer gets on stage. Is there a guitarist? Guitarist gets on stage. It's a great way just to meet people and, scout talent. No. But yeah.
And then, so you decided to form a band.
Yes.
And what did you do with yourselves from there?
Quickly, we actually started playing gigs. I remember, where was it? On the Keys. What's it called again?
What kind of style?
Shanae. Yeah. So Shanae were great to us because...
Yeah.
Every Monday they'd have just an open mic, but
I've been there a few times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The sound guy, he was really cool to us. He just let us. Rodney?
No, they are Russell.
Yeah. So Russell just let us get on stage and do what we want. So we used that. We basically abused that and just got to try things out every week.
What kind of music was it at that time?
Well, I came from a background of just classic rock, psychedelic rock, all that kind of thing, and I've just always I always wanted that kind of band, just because. To me, psychedelic rock is just so open, and I'm into a lot of different genres. So,
yeah, we actually were so different background. Maybe me and Ron is probably more closer, but Jackie was more electronic music, jazz, impro, and we kind of play like rock and mixture of something what he would be called is the electronic or jazz, So it was kind of interesting mixture and worked pretty well. And on beginning we just improvised, and they worked very well because we're really easy improvised. We really find really easy tunes to play. But later on we started more working on songwriting, creating composing songs, and pretty well went, My story when I met them, actually, Ron says in his own way. I remember I met them in the stage, Jackie and Ron in the stage, and it was I kind of already played with many bands in that time, and some people making jokes. I'm actually the previous interview guy, Javier. We actually been rehearsed for the performance in college. And I just decided, I've been before organizing jam session there, but I quit there. But I just thought, why not just see there? And I just coincidentally say, why not to try with these guys? The organizer said, and I just joined and play. And we're just so easy to play. And at that moment, I wanted to play in to try to play in the street, on the street, you know. But and when we played, they asked, "Would you like to play with us?" You know, and I just thought.
So you were busking?
I planned busking with them, so I just say one thing. Yeah, if we busk, you know, and well, we started to rehearse, and actually we never busk, you know. Okay. We did busk probably later, but probably
so you went straight to gigging. Did you do any recording?
Yeah, no, we actually went straight away to the gigging because I know open mics very well, and I play loads of bands, and I just bring in them one gig, other gig, and I know the guys.
And were you improvising all the time, or were you writing your own songs?
On beginning, yeah, we improvised.
Just
but
get
later,
up on the stage and improvise.
That was the most exciting to me, just to like, you know,
Yeah.
I've been in. I think we all come from different backgrounds, as in within the Dublin's music scene, because we all come from like, you know, bands, different like cover bands, you know, all that boring stuff, you know what I mean? Everyone does that, you know. But for me, it was like I was kind of done with that already. I just wanted to like find musicians that I could create music with, have fun and all that. And the most exciting aspect for me of music at that time was just to get up on stage with nothing, like walking a tightrope, if you get me. And I feel like that's where the fun is. That's where the best things come out of me when I'm not prepared, if you get me, like that kind of way. So, you know, I think we're all in that stage, but I think we're expecting to find, you know, an okay drummer, an okay bassist, and I'd try, you know, hire them or something. But when it really happened, it was just like, you know, they were just too good not to play with. So as in, I'm used to like, you know, pretty good bassist, pretty good drummer, and then to teaching them a few things, and really when I was a kid, I'd teach them how to play drums just so I could have a drummer. But at this stage, it was just like they were so good, I could just sit back and do my guitar work, and it was all meeting in the middle rather than...
So were you playing a lot of instruments when you were younger?
Yeah,
when did you start
sure.
playing? Oh, right, first of all, when did you start listening to, and I assume loving music?
Yeah, it was a very early age for me. I was, you know, the youngest in my family. My brother was, you know, a good 6 years older than me. He influenced me a lot with music and playing music, and
What did you hear in the house?
Oh god, it started the worst. It started with like, you know, new metal, that kind of thing, really heavy. It was always alternative though. I was never into like just, you know, straight cut chart music at all. I was not that like I hated any of that. It was just the fact that I grew up so like, you know, so exclusively to rock music, and it was just always in my house. It just kind of naturally came that way. But my brother started playing very young. When did you start
playing music?
I started playing music 8 years old. So I started playing guitar at 8. And self-taught mostly. Like, again, my brother would teach me a few chords, but from then on I'd be listening to like, you know, Clash CDs, playing along to that, Ramones, very simple music.
Same, yeah.
Started from there, you know what I mean? And like it just slowly built into, you know, just being fascinated with it and doing it every day by choice, you know. So. And
what were your early influences?
Probably the similar music, well, except new metal. I don't know, for some reason I'm not been going about my generation been listening. I kind of was listening something was like older stuff. So I remember I've been listening for sure from probably childhood, Pink Floyd, Kraftwerk, or Art of Noise. So because what my dad was listening. At the same time, I kind of discovered Led Zeppelin. I started loving Led Zeppelin. Then I discovered The Clash. So I love the old 70s punk rock. I've been listening. And later on, I started interest in underground bands, like from the 90s, bands like shoegaze or like garage rock and something DIY ethics bands as well. And
I think that's where our paths kind of crossed.
Yeah.
For me, my teens, I got into like more alternative, like Sonic Youth, all that kind of thing, and eventually I got into like, you know, old school 90s shoegaze, like Spaceman 3, psychedelic rock, like Manchester Massacre, all that kind of thing. So that was like my main influences now for these two bands that we've been in a songwriting sense and like aesthetic sense, everything like that. Like psychedelic rock was just because I've been into so many different genres of music. I feel like that kind of encapsulates, you know, the thing I liked most about all of them.
Okay.
I don't know, the hooks.
And did you do any recording with that first band?
With Quantum Crossers?
Yeah, we did. And actually, that's what I wanted to talk about. Yeah, we did eventually with band, and we did during the COVID. Like since like very beginning of COVID, we've been working, and we released one of the record. We had another record supposed to release, but we kind of left for now because we move on into next band, which is Sir Marmalade.
So how did that happen? How did the transition?
So basically, when in Quantum Crossroads, we had a studio and we were like working away on multiple records at the same time. We ended up getting one of them finished during lockdown. It was like a mini acoustic album thing. But we got like a few songs done, music videos thing, all these kind of projects. And we had them ongoing, as Glebsy said, but just the challenges through lockdown, everything was thrown at us. You know, we had no intention of stopping whatsoever, and we were able to keep going. We lost our studio during the lockdown, like quickly found this other place that we're still in now, and just try to continue as much as possible. Our drummer Jackie got sick. He has like this ongoing challenges, I'll say, and so he was kind of, you know, put music aside for a while, and which I think is completely fine to do. You know, like a lot of people, it's like do or die, but it's, you know, on hiatus, I guess you could call it. But with that band, so but like our creative juices were flowing, if you get me. So I decided like I'm gonna try and make my own solo thing, or like not solo as much as just like a thing that I can say. As I said, like with Quantum Crossroads, I feel like we're all meeting in the middle, which is perfectly fine. I love that, absolutely. But I'm more used to just being kind of a songwriter and arranger, I guess. I mean, you know, wearing multiple hats, you know, that's what I grew into and I was comfortable doing. So I was like, okay, let's just make a new project. I'm just gonna take charge of this one, and, you know, try make it do something while we're waiting for Jackie just to get better and all. But so that was the initial you know, intention.
So you have a new place and
Yeah.
a new name,
Mm-hmm.
and what have you been doing with that?
Yeah, so things have been moving fast with this one, a lot faster than usual in our projects. But as I said, like we're just so on board. Like we were like building up equipment during lockdown, and just kind of, you know, I was writing a ton of songs, and I just felt like there was a very, you know, specific thing that didn't quite fit into the Quantum Crossroads thing, didn't fit quite into like all these other things we want to do. I think originally we wanted to do a punk band. We just want to like just go crazy.
Yeah,
and,
so
like,
the story is we just when, as Jackie said, you cannot do for a while. I mean, for now, like, and maybe for a while, he playing drums. So we decided to move on, and Ron said I have like already written songs, and would you interest to continue with different band? And I say, okay, yeah, let's try. And we tried, and we formed another band. Actually, in the beginning, it was different drummer, is Marco, and we did something like he said, like punk rock band, you know, music, you know, and it was kind of a bit quite heavy. But unfortunately, he also has to move. They went to the other country because he couldn't stay in Ireland, and it was kind of unfortunately, but at the same time, fortunately, I had in mind a different friend, Alexandra, who I know he was a big fan of our previous band, Quantum Crossroads, and I know he's could be a good drummer, you know, if we work with him, because, and actually, I just suggest, and he's joining the band, and he's really getting good, you know, every time, you know, and now is like Ron
Okay,
says,
so you
is
said
it
that
perfect?
you have songs written. Are you recording them?
Yeah, we're recording them, and I'm the person who's in charge of recording, because
So it's taking a while, is it?
yeah, it's loads of works, you know. Since the previous band Quantum Crossroads have been, I took charge of the producing, and I tried to learn myself, and I really seriously learned a lot of things, and lots of experimentation with equipment, everything, and I think we got.
Basically, what happened was, so we were recording with Quantum Crossroads. We have this gear built up over the years, and a lot of songs written, and a lot of ideas. So we managed to get one of them done. But as we tried a different drummer, it didn't work out very well. Well, it did. It worked great, but he just had to leave, and it was just another thing. But so, you know, we're just like, oh, what do we do? So we tried out another guy, Alexander, who we're with now, and he's just a great guy, really positive dude. You know, he really, you know, took the job seriously, and he learned all the old songs and got them done really well. And like from then, it just went really fast. As in, we got a gig in Fibbers. It was just this random gig downstairs, and it just went absolutely perfect. You know, the songs we did great. and good reception, a full crowd, which is very rare for a first gig for a man. It's just a full house, and went down really well. And from then on, we just got a string of gigs, and we were like, great. So, but it was after that gig we came back to the studio and we just dropped in all the things, and we were just like, okay. And I don't know why, but this label in Dublin, Fuzzed Up Records, came into my mind. I've been a follower.
Is he the
them.
owner of the record shop?
No, this is that's the studio, Absence Records. But these guys they release their own records, though. They are a label to do physical records, and I'm a big vinyl guy. I love all that stuff. So and it's the same kind of genre I was going for with this new band, and they just popped into my head. I was like, I have to contact them. I don't know why I haven't before, but now it's the time. I guess we're ready. But I got in contact with them, just showed them our one single out. So we did get to record one thing, and it was just a single we have out on Spotify called Steel Rose Soap Bed. And that was one of the first songs I wrote for this thing. And it just kind of nailed the whole concept of the psychedelic band and the garage rock mixed to a punk kind of thing, So that was a good thing to show them. And immediately they were like, yeah, let's do stuff. Let's work together.
What else have you got in the pipeline?
So basically from then on, it's just been non-stop, we're doing gigs, building our set list really big. So I'd say we have another 3 records on the way, I'd say, worth of... so we have one
You're going to release them as singles?
So Fuzzed Up are going to release our first EP.
Great.
It's just a 7-inch single, sorry. That's the single. We have 2 EPs on the way after that, I'd say, which is, and they're ready to go. It's just recording and finding time.
Yeah, to be clear, is EP is not just EP. It's a kind of between EP and album. So it's 7 songs on each EP, let's say our mini album. So it's gonna be 2 by 7 songs, releases, and also the 7 inches vinyl is going to be with 3 tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So which one we are working now, and that's probably going to be probably soon as release.
It took a long time to finalize that, as you can probably...
Will it be out in time for the Christmas market?
Hopefully with the 7-inch. Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
It's just big enough for the stocking.
And where can everybody find you?
We are on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify even, with that one track. You can find us online, all the usual
Sir
things.
Marmalade.
For sure, yeah. Sir Marmalade.
Well, it's been great having you, and we look forward to seeing you on October 14th in the Cobblestone. And thanks very much.
Thanks for having us.